Hey, Laura Gallant here with Mountain Prairie Living, empowered by ERA Shields. And on today's video, we're going to talk about 5 questions to ask a listing agent that you're interviewing to potentially list your home. So let's get to it. So you decided to sell your house and you understand the value of having a real estate professional help you. Well, I suggest that you interview at least 3 real estate professionals and ask some important questions. So how do you find those 3 real estate professionals? My suggestion would be to ask your family and friends, have they recently used a real estate professional that they like? And if so, why would they refer them to you? So write their name down and then write down some of the feedback that your family or friends gave you about why they're referring you to that agent. What are the pros and cons of that agent? And have that information ready for when you make that contact phone call to set up the interview. So here are some questions to ask during the interview process with those 3 real estate agents. Question number 1, what sets you apart in this competitive real estate market? What qualities and what real estate designations or certifications do you bring to the table that's going to help us with this transaction? So when you ask this question, listen, and you're going to hear a little bit about their focus or their passion, because the designations or certifications that they choose are going to tell you a little bit more about the types of people they want to work with. And if you're that type of person, then that tells you that they definitely want to serve you. So you want to hear confidence in their communication about themselves. It's okay to talk about the things that they've achieved, the way that they've achieved it in this current market. They should talk to you about factual information of statistics of the recent sales and transactions that they've done and how they've helped their buyer or seller in that transaction. You're listening for facts, but you're also looking at their body language and confidence. They should be confident because that's going to help you during this transaction. They should be clear, straightforward, and honest with you throughout that question. Question number 2, are they a full-time real estate agent or are they part-time? And how many years have they been in the business? So this question is going to tell you a little bit about how they look at this business for them. You're looking for a full-time real estate professional when you're looking to sell your house. So part-time means that they're torn between 2 careers, or there's a different focus when you're behaving as a business professional in real estate if you're part-time or full-time. So be clear, when you're listing your home, this is a huge investment for you. You want a full-time real estate agent. Now let's talk about length of time and experience. So maybe they're only 1 year into the career, but let me tell you, don't poo-poo that off, because many people have entered into this real estate profession from another career that has skills, communication, leadership. They're all skills that are going to really bode well in this profession. So they should be able to speak to where they came from if they are new to the industry and how those skill sets are going to benefit you during the real estate transaction. So just because they're new doesn't mean that they don't have tons and tons of experience. Listen for who they work with. Are they working with a large real estate group that offers them additional support and assistance throughout the transaction? You know, are they hungry? They obviously want to build their business. The way to do that is to have a client, to treat them well, to serve them well. And we know as real estate professionals that when we take care of our clients and the transaction flows well, that there's likely a referral to another family or friend, just as the way you got that agent, in the near future. So they're a little bit more eager to build their business and make sure they take good care of you if they are new. So let's talk about the experienced agent. They may have years of experience and there's a fine line. The big question to ask is, if they've been in the field a long time, what new have they added to their skill set? Have they kept on top of the technology? How are they marketing? If they're saying something like, well, I'm old school, real estate agent, I do it this way, maybe a red flag for you, or maybe it's a comfort zone for you because that's the way you want to do business. But just because they have years of experience, it's really important to understand that in today's fast moving real estate market, you need to make sure that they understand technology, because we know 70% of people looking for homes are looking online. So if they're not able to execute and get your marketing of your home out into the internet and a variety of other places, they may not be the best fit for you. So experience isn't always a positive, and lack of an experience isn't always a negative. So this next question, question number 3, is an important one. Ask about how they will communicate with you. Talk about phone, text, email. Define the times of day that you want that communication. And if you don't want any of that communication, maybe you don't want to text, maybe you only want a phone call and email. But this is a great opportunity to define how you need to communicate with this person, but also how they want to communicate to you, because they might have their own boundaries as far as time. So you might be someone who's up at 11 o'clock at night and decide you're going to text your real estate agent. And I know they're out there because I get them. But you want to define those boundaries now. This is a really great question because it kind of sets some boundaries and expectations for communication. Now, on that note, do they have a team? Do they have a transaction coordinator or an unlicensed professional assistant that helps them? Are you going to be speaking with other people once you go under listing contract? Are you going to immediately have to work with somebody else? And if so, are they talking about that person? Who is that person, and how will you talk to them? Communication in business is so important. And let me tell you, this is one of the typical areas where a lot of feathers get ruffled during the transaction. So this question will help you define and see what their expectations are, and for you to set your expectations as far as communication. Now, of course, if we've got your listing and you're in another state and your house is burning down, I'm going to call you at midnight because your house is burning down. But overall, you're setting the parameters of boundaries for that type of communication, and you want to listen. Is that the type of communication that you have? If they straight out say, I only text, or I only email, I'm never going to call you, that might not work for you, because maybe you need a little bit more conversation and connection to make sure that you're on the same page. So question number 4 is quite a good one. You want to ask about how they set expectations for their clients when it comes to pricing, to stage the house, to discuss maybe inspection objection items that might arise, or appraisal issues. So in asking this question, you're asking them to tell you the truth, to tell you honestly, straightforward, what's going to happen with my property? Do I need to stage it? You know, are they being open and honest with you, saying, you know what, if you really want top dollar, you want to make sure that you clear some of this space out? Are they talking about maybe structural issues that you have and being honest with you, that the severity of that structural issue may cause a problem for your price point? So you want straightforward, honest information. It needs to stay positive. It needs to stay realistic. If they're overly optimistic and they're kind of brushing over stuff that you honestly know could be an issue in the price point, but yet they're promising you a price point that you're not sure you could possibly get because of the condition of the home, then you question that. If they're not able to be straightforward and honest with you in this moment of questioning, then how are they going to behave when you get an inspection objection and they want to discuss those items with you? You really want clarity. You want to make sure that they're honest, straightforward, and they're able to handle communication like that. So asking this question on the expectations that they have of their client and how they will address those areas is really a good key point, because those areas could be big problems in the future. So good question to ask during the interview. Now, question number 5. This is a great one. And this one is, can I have some referrals? Can you tell me who you've worked with, and can I connect to them to ask questions about their experience with your last transaction with them? Now, a good real estate professional is going to stay in touch with their clients. They're also going to ask for some referrals and references and reviews on a variety of websites. So they should immediately have the ability to offer you at least 2 to 3 clients. And and also refer you to websites where you can find referrals and reviews for your previous services with them. So that's such an important question. Not only did you already get it from your family and friends, but you want a few more clients that you would be able to talk to and find out the pros and cons of working with that person. So these 5 questions are going to be fantastic for you. Yes, there's additional questions that you should be asking throughout the transaction. And yes, you want to know what their commission is. And you want to know what they can ask for the property. Remember, this is a business relationship formation. This interview process is really important. So it's not just pick anybody that somebody sends to you. You should take the time to interview them and ask these questions. Make sure you're on the same page, that you talk the same language, that you have the same expectations. Remember, this is the largest investment that many people make. Maybe it's an even income property, but no matter what, the outcome of a real estate transaction affects your income, that affects your family, and it has tax implications. So make sure you take the time to do your due diligence, to interview at least 3 listing professionals and choose the one that you feel is going to bond with you and communicate to you in the way that you need throughout this transaction. Now, if you found value in this video, I'm so glad you were here. Give it a thumbs up. Now, stay tuned. I'm going to post a video to ways to stage your home and prep it for sale. So check that video out. And if you want to stay tuned for next week, I'm going to post a video about the 5 questions to ask a buyer's agent. Thanks so much for watching. Subscribe to the channel and have a great day.